Okay, so we'll continue from where we stopped in the previous video tutorial. Okay, what happened is the video was exceeding. So it was crossing more than 35 minutes. So I've cut it at 30 minutes and I'm continuing here. Okay, this is a continuation part of the previous video tutorial. Right, so we were working with class selectors. We'll continue with class and ID selectors today. Right, now here what I wanted to point out is we were working with all these things and we have understood especially this point. Okay, more than one HTML element can have the same class attribute. This is where we stopped. Now I'll focus in this video tutorial in this particular point, that is, as well as a single HTML element can have more than one class attribute. So we'll understand this practically. I again have a notepad with some 7 or 8 p tags and let us observe the output. I'm going faster. This is the output, plain black. Okay, black text and white background, right? So let us apply some kind of CSS to it. Now instead of working with text, I'll give a CSS. I'll call for the p tag. So I'm using the tag selector, and what I'll say, I will apply border. We have been working with text and colors. Now we'll apply border. So I want a border of 2 pixels and it should be solid. I'll say blue. Okay, semicolon, curly bracket close, control S and refresh. See, every paragraph, okay, every paragraph has a blue color border which is 2 pixels. Correct. Now all the paragraphs are looking alike. I want, say, these 2 paragraphs to look different. So what I'll do, I'll introduce the class attribute. This was our tag selector, right? Now you can write it in this manner. If you want to make it more readable, this way, can put enters and write. Okay, this is also correct. Right. Now I want this particular, these two to appear with a red color border. So what I'll do, I'll introduce a class attribute and I'll write here equal to, I need to give some name to the class attribute, some value to the class attribute, correct? And the value should not begin with numbers. It can be any name. So what name I'll give? I'll give red border name. Any name you give, I'm giving a name as red border. So what should be red border? How do I call the class attribute? A tag selector is called with the name of the tag. A class selector is called with period, that is dot. And what is the name of our class? It is red border. So I'm writing here red border and I don't want to write this again and again. So I'll copy and paste. Control C. And I'll paste it here. Control V. I don't want blue color. I want a red color border. Control S and observe. Okay, this one paragraph has got a red color border. I want the next paragraph, this also to have red color border. So what should I do? Same class I can apply here. Correct. So Control S and see again. Correct. Now I want this to have a green color border. So I will name it as green. And I want the next one to also have a green color border. And now what I need to do, call it out here, dot green border. And what should be the border? Copy and paste again. Easy work. So I'll do here GRE and green, Control S, and let us see. Observe. See, all the p tags. Actually, all the p tags. Okay, when p is a selector, all the tags were applied with blue color border. Now, specifically, these two are applied with red color border because we have given it a class. And we have learned in our previous tutorial that a tag will take what effect? It will take the effect of the formatting part which is closer to it. So this particular text has a formatting P applied here, right? The tag selector is P, but it is not applying blue color border. It is applying red. Why? The closest one, see, class we have mentioned red border. So to this text, the closest formatting feature or the closest style applied is red border. So it is taking red border and avoiding the blue border. Clear? So we have seen how we apply. Now this, where is it? More than one HTML element can have the same class. Observed? More than one HTML element. Observe. These are the two HTML elements which can have the same class. Correct? Two HTML elements can have the same class. Now, my next point is, I want all these four. to appear with a higher font size. So what should I do? I can write here in this, I should say font, one more feature, font size, say 16 point, semicolon, and I'll copy this and paste it where? Here. Correct? Control S, and observe, applied. So now all these four, right? Which one? The red border class and the green border class. Both of them have 16 point size. But what have I done? I had to repeat this particular code again and again, right? I want to avoid this repetition. Then what to do? So what I'll do, I'll introduce, say somewhere here, another class, say large font, another class name. And in that, I will introduce this font. Control X, Control V. Okay, I'll remove it from here also. Observe, Control S. Now is it applied? No. All are with the same font size. Correct. What have I done? I have created a new class called as large font. But where have I mentioned in the tag? I have mentioned it nowhere. Now, I'm coming down to this point. You have to understand. Single HTML element, one HTML element can have more than one class attribute. So I'll show you. That means I've given here one class attribute. See, this is a class attribute and this is one of its value. I am giving multiple values, another value to it. What is the value? Large font. I'll copy and paste it as it is. Okay, I'll write it here. LARGE, large font. What have I done? To this class attribute, I have given multiple values. And how are the multiple values returned? Separated by a space. I'll repeat again. To this one class, I have given multiple values. The first value is red border and the second value is large font. And multiple values are separated by single spaces. Control S. Let us see whether it works. Correct. Working? Right? Now, that means if I want all the four to come with that particular font size, I can give it here also. Right? I can give it here. I can apply it here as well. Control S, and so came. Now this, what I have done? Reduce the redundancy in the page and increase the readability. See, I'm not repeating the code again and again. I should not write this again and again. Correct? I have not written it again and again. Only once I have written it with a class name and I have called the classes multiple times. Right? So this is one of the ways we can do. Now observe. Say I have an H3 tag here. I have a H3 tag with some text. Okay, so I'll write some text here. Close H3 tag. Now Control S and refresh. Came. Some text has come. I want to give it a border. So what will I do? I have to go here and write call H3 and what border I want. Say I want blue. So I will have to copy and paste this. Correct? So I'm copying and pasting. Control S and observe. Came with blue. But what have I done? I've returned it again and again. See, I had to again call the tag and write it. We can avoid this. How? I can go here and say class is equal to which one? Whichever class you want, you can include. Say if I want red, then I can include red. If I want green, I can include here green. So what will happen? Now it will get a green border, right? Or if you put red, it will get this particular feature. With this feature is applied. If you want this, you can apply this feature. This is one of the ways of doing it. I'll again show you something else. Okay. Now I'm coming back here. I hope these 2 points should be clear to everyone. How to use classes. So whenever we are using class selectors, what we are doing? We introduce the class attribute to a tag. And as it is an attribute, it will have a value. And whatever it is its value, that will be called for styling. And how do you call it? We use the period, dot called as a period, correct? So that is what we have done. And these are two important points. More than one element can have the same class, and single element, single tag can have more than one class attribute. I hope class attributes are clear. So let us proceed further to which one? The ID at selectors. Okay, so I'll go further. This we have covered in the previous section. Going to ID selector. What is an ID selector? Now, before we see further, we'll understand ID selector. It is similar. ID selector is similar to a class selector. Only understand when you are working with, see, when we were working with tag selectors, okay, our name of the tag was our selector, correct? When we wanted to work with HTML elements, their tag names were selected. Similarly, what was class selectors? CSS class selectors will select every HTML element with a specified class value and apply styles on it. Similarly, when we are working with ID selectors, it is what it will do. The CSS ID selectors will again work with HTML elements or identify HTML elements which have a ID selector. Okay, where you have used to a particular tag, if you have used ID as an attribute, then that ID has what value? That will be called for styling. Only difference is when we are working with ID selector, instead of dot, we use the number sign, that is the hashtag. Okay, so we'll come to the first point here. When we want to identify an HTML element, I've made this bold, uniquely. Okay, when you want to identify it uniquely in a page, what we do? We use ID selectors. See, the ID selector is used to specify a style for a single or a unique element. ID stands for basically identification. And when you say identification, identification is always unique only, correct? An ID of a person cannot be duplicated. ID can never be duplicated. It should be unique only, right? So even if we are working with ID selector and we duplicate it, it will work, but only it will work with HTML and CSS when we use it in some kind of languages. Which languages? Okay, languages means which languages? Any kind of programming or scripting languages. Okay, but when we are working with those languages, this duplication will not work. So ID selector is specially used when we want to apply style for either a single element or a unique element. Okay, practically you will understand much better, right? So we'll go for the next point. It says, see, ID is always unique. ID stands for identification, which is always unique within the page. So it is chosen to select a single unique element. Okay. The ID selector uses which attribute? ID attribute. Like the class selector uses the class attribute, ID selector will use the ID attribute. And as I said before, it is written with hash. You all call it as hash character. It is in programming actually called as number sign, followed by the ID of an element. We have seen, if you recollect, we have seen how do we call the class attribute? The class attribute is called with a period, a dot, which is known as a period, followed by the name of the class. Similarly, ID attribute will be called with hash. Okay, number sign followed by the name of the ID. To implement ID selector, in place of selector, we write the ID attribute. To implement class selectors, what we did? In place of selectors, we wrote the class attribute preceded by dot sign. Here, in place of selector, we will write ID attribute, which will be preceded by hash sign. Okay. This symbol indicates ID selector. Dot indicates, or the period indicates, class selector, and number sign indicates ID selector. Okay. So to select tags by their ID attribute value and apply styles on them, we use ID selector value. This is familiar to each one of you. Name of a tag. What is our attribute? When we are working with ID selectors, our attribute is ID. And again, ID is a global attribute which can be used with each and every tag. Every tag can be uniquely identified and equal to, what is this? This is the value. Value can be, it can be anything. You can call it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H or anything. Okay, but it should be unique. You cannot repeat the ID attribute ka value. And how is it called for styling? It should be called with a number sign followed by the value. Whatever is written here exactly should be copied and pasted here. And this part, everyone knows. Children, all of you know what is this. This is our CSS declaration block. Okay, I've put an example. H1 tag I've used. I've called it with an ID. Some solid border name I have given. That is this attribute ka value I have given solid border. How did I call it? Using the number sign, hashtag solid border, and some kind of border I am trying to give. Okay, so we will see an example, right? So this is a small structure of HTML where I have used 2 paragraphs are there, and what am I doing? Applying ID to one of the paragraphs. Okay, now the second paragraph is not having the ID attribute, and I have called in the style, I have called only this first one. So what will happen? Only the first paragraph will get the effect. Let us observe the output. See, hello Java point. The first paragraph got this effect. Second paragraph will not get the effect. Okay. So before we proceed further, again, let us go to the code and work on it. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll remove all these things. We don't want to give any C1, C2, C3. We will remove all the classes and use this code. I'm not creating a new code again. And okay, Control S and output which ID selector. Menu, open, browse, name of the file, ID selector, open. Okay. Okay, simple. Whatever I have written is displayed over here. Now what I'll do to this, I will apply ID equal to, what should I give name? Okay, solid border. And where should I give the styling? Here, how do I call the ID? Now this is the ID attribute, a global attribute applied to this p tag, and this is the value. So I'll call it like this, but followed by, preceded by hashtag. Okay, solid border, enter, curly brackets open, border, say 4 pixels, solid blue, or you can give any other color. Right now I'm giving blue. Control S. What happened? Why it is applied only to the first paragraph and not to the rest of the paragraph? Because we have uniquely called this paragraph, identified uniquely. There are 3 paragraphs. Okay, but I have identified only this paragraph uniquely with some kind of value. This is the ID attribute ka value. And I have called it here. See, I have called that value here and applied some kind of style to it. Now, instead of this, if I would have done like this, P, Control S, sorry, P, Control S and refresh. See, it is applied, correct? This is my tag selector. So when I call the tag selector, what happened? This particular styling is applied to all the p tags in your web page. But when you want to uniquely identify, what should you do? I should call Control C. Instead of this, I should call this Control S, and now observe, correct? So understanding what we are doing, the same thing I have shown here. See, there are 2 paragraphs. One place I have applied ID, one not. So how is the output? Okay. Now here, okay. Before we see this, let us observe. Okay. So let us observe again how. What I am doing, I will apply the same ID attribute to here. Okay. ID stands for unique identification. Still, I'm applying the same ID attribute here. What do you feel? What will happen? Let us observe. What happened? Both the paragraphs are getting the same feature. That means when you are using classes, we can repeat the class names. correct? We can repeat the class attributes value, same with ID. Then what is the difference? Again, I'll tell. See, classes, when you want to group elements together, that is many HTML tags or HTML elements, when they want the same features or common features, use classes. But ID, the meaning of ID is identification, and identification means unique identification. Okay, I'll make it more clear. Imagine when you talk about hall tickets. Okay, now can one child's hall ticket shared with two other students, or can three children or four children have the same kind of hall tickets? No, it's not possible, because hall tickets are unique. Same here, ID stands for unique identification. Okay, it will work. See, it is working here. In classes also it can be same, class names can be same in case of IDs also, but this ID is equal to whatever we have given. It will work. IDs can be duplicated only when we are working with HTML and CSS. But when we want to implement this program in JavaScript or in any other scripting language, then problems will arise. Okay. In case of scripting languages, one ID cannot be made available for more than one tag or element. IDs should be unique. Understanding that means we should not specify the same ID attribute value to more than one tag. Okay, it should be unique in a page. I hope this is very clear to everyone. Now let us go and understand. See, I will close the topic here by going to the gist of it. See, note, class selectors. We can manage our code. Okay, I'll show you this manner. We can manage our code efficiently. Efficiently ka meaning hai the code redundancy can be reduced. That is, reduce the lines of code. You must have observed when we did the program. When we started the video today, you must have observed how we reduce the lines of code. Okay, so we can manage our code very easily. Readability increase ho jata hai. Specific selectors in CSS will have higher precedence than generic selectors. If this is not clear, I'll make you again clear. I'll come back here. Now, what is specific selector? What is generic selector? Now here, P tag, this is a general selector. Tag selector, correct? This is a general selector. If I say P and this and I don't write all these things, all the P tags will get that effect. But now what we have done, we have returned H3 class is equal to green border, or we have returned P class is equal to red border. See, so what is red border? This is a specific selector. This is a specific selector. I have specifically said this P tag should get this effect. Which effect? This particular effect. Okay. And always the specific selectors will have a higher precedence than the generic selector. I explained you all. It means what? A tag, if it has multiple formatting features, a closest formatting feature will get applied. Correct? So that is the meaning of this line. Specific selectors in CSS will have higher precedence than generic selectors. We can specify the same class attribute value to more than one tag if required. We have seen, I'll not take it again. Also, this is very important. A single HTML element can have more than one class attribute. That is, list of class attribute values can be separated by white spaces if required. Now, this point I did not make it clear, so I will explain here. Okay. Observe. Here we are calling the ID selectors. How did we call? We called it in this manner. We can also call it as P hash. What did I do? I've used a prefix here. Before the hashtag, I've used a prefix as P, right? So I've said P hash solid border. This will also work. See, this will also give you a correct output. Same output, right? Understanding? Not clear? I'll cut it. Control S and applied, not applied. Why? I have specified some style here. Okay, I have called these P tags by a name called as solid border. Control S. Okay, say refresh. See, all the P tags are looking alike. There is no formatting feature applied. Even if I have written here, I have returned p tag, I have used an ID attribute and I have used here. But did I call this here? No. So earlier, how did we learn calling it? We can call it with, I said hash and the name, correct? Solid border, Control C. The second way of calling it is, you can also call it with the name of the tag. Okay, so which tag it is? P tag followed by number sign followed by the correct name of the ID attribute value or the ID attribute ka whatever is the value correctly copied. Now apply Control S. Applied. Okay, understanding? So both the ways we can call without this as well as with this. But when we are working in live environment, we should always call it in this manner, not without P. Okay. So hope that is also clear. Okay. What was it? Fine. Important points on ID selectors. ID attribute value is not only used to identify an HTML element uniquely and apply styles on it, but it is also used to access an HTML element in JavaScript, as I said earlier, and allows us to add behaviors. I told you all earlier that ID means unique identification. Okay, you use classes same name, but ID cannot be used with same name. What will happen if we use with same name? In programming or scripting languages, it will not support, it will not work. So when should we use ID attribute? Simple, when we want to uniquely identify elements. So examples are when we want to apply styles to the HTML elements that appears only once in a page, not applies, that appears only once in a page. Now what appears once in a page? The header section, header, footer, navigation bar, sidebar, these things appears once in a page. Form elements uniquely identify होता है, correct? Input field, password, radio button, checkboxes सब uniquely हम identify करते हैं. और when you want to identify elements uniquely, हम क्या करेंगे? ID attribute use करेंगे. Okay? So we can apply styles in that manner. An HTML element should not have list of ID attribute values separated by white spaces. इसका meaning क्या है? What is the meaning of it? हमने यहाँ लिखा था ना? We had written here, see, class attribute को multiple values दिया था separated by single space. This is not possible in case of ID attribute. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, before I close, just a small point to be noted. See, I have applied to this particular H3 tag, I have applied what? Class is equal to green border, and I have applied class is green border to this P tag also. Okay, suppose I want this H3 should look alike as this P, or this H3 should look alike as simple this P. Then what should I do? So what is my P tag? It is having solid blue color. I want the H3 also to come like that. So what I can do, I can give here P comma H3. I'll remove the H3 ka formatting. I'll remove this. Okay, before I do this, wait, I'll just remove this. Control S and I'll show you the output. Okay, file menu, open, browse, and what is the name? Tag select. Tag select, open. Okay, now observe. This is the H3 tag output, no borders. Okay, and the P tags 1, 2, and the last two. And the P tags are coming with solid blue color border. I want the H3 also to come with that. Then what should I do? I can group selectors together. I'll just introduce and explain it to you. Save it. Observing, what have I done? I have called two tags together. Okay, this is called as grouping. I have grouped selectors together. It is very clear. This is a selector. Selector is what? The name of a tag. See, the name of a tag. This is a selector. So what is a selector? It is the name of a tag. I have selected two tag names and they are separated by a comma. Okay, say I have one more tag here. If not clear, I have H2 tag and it is some text is written here, and I close my H2 tag, Control S and refresh. Now I want, this is the H2 tag test. This also should come with the same feature. What will I do? Comma H2. So what have I done? I have called P tag, my selector is P, my selector is H3, my selector is H2. So I have grouped three selectors. How? They are separated by comma. Okay, Control S. Now let us observe. See, so what we can do? We can also group selectors together. And how can we group selectors together? To group selectors together, call the names of the tags. Okay, or those selectors should be separated by commas, and you can give them good styles. Correct? Now I'll show you something unique. Okay, so where should I work? I'll not use this notepad. I'll use this notepad and show you something unique. Now what I want is, I will create mine own, I'll create mine own some kind of tag. There is no tag called as menu. I'm creating mine own tag and I'm writing welcome to class selector. Now there is no tag called as menu. Okay, I have created mine own tag called as menu. Now I want to apply some CSS to it. So I'll write here menu is my selector and I want to apply CSS. What CSS? I will give it a color. Then I will give it a font size. Sorry. And I will give it a font family Tahoma. I don't know whether it works. Okay. Now observe. I'll explain you what is this. First observe. I'll make it very clear. There is no such tag called as menu. Okay. But I've written a tag called as menu and I've applied some features to it. Control S, and I cannot refresh because I have to open the page, browse. And what is the name of my program? It is ID selector. Open. Say okay. Observe. It is welcome to class selector. I've written here welcome to class selector in the menu tag, and see welcome to class selector is displayed in green color. Font size 30 pixel. Still, if you want to see, I'll change the size and show you. Correct? Okay, and font family Tahoma. It is coming in that family also. Observing, right? So what have I done? What I have done, this is called as customized selectors. Okay, this is customized selector. As per our requirement, it works. That is called as customized selector. Hope you're understanding what is customized selector. I'll show you in the beginning. In the beginning, I had written here customized selector. Right? So we have understood group selector. We have understood customized selector. Right? We'll go into the depth of this later. Let us stop here. Have a good day, everyone. Keep learning and keep sharing.